And welcome back, GG Leagues fans, to another night of wonderful matches here during our summer split. We're going all the way over to Illinois' B Division. We're going to be seeing Marian Varsity Esports White versus the Suny Plattsburgh team. My name is Marian, and joining me today will always be the wonderful DJ. How are you doing today, bud?
Doing wonderful today as well, Mercenary. Excited to be here for another game. This time in Illinois B, and the bands coming in hot and fast here as we've got all three in from Marian. Caitlin Zareth Rise band, so a little bit of range bands there. And on the Suny side, we've got Shen, Aphelios, and Renekton band. So someone in top lane was pushing hard for some bands there.
Yeah, they really do not want to face Marian's top laner, but we're going to see the jungle picks out first for Marian on the blue side with the Graves, pretty high-end jungler as of late, but it's always fun to see him played. You can definitely see some interesting actions go through there, but ganks are a bit fishy sometimes. There's not a lot of lead-in. You have a dash, but that's really about it.
Definitely looking for that red buff slow, and can be a little awkward on tower dives if the opponent knows what they're doing. Can use that tower to block your autos there with Graves. If you watched the LAC recently, you would have seen Destiny outplay Selfmade under turret with a play just like that, flashing behind the turret. So mind for your solo queue games, kids.
Yeah, but now as we're talking right now, we have the bot lane pick down for Suny with the Sivir, and a possible, however, for possibly a jungle Trundle here. Trundle's actually going to be seeing some nerfs next patch, but right now he's in full force, especially in the early game. It's kind of hard to beat that snowballing monster right there. So let's see how Marian's gonna pick that one up.
Yeah, Trundle, very normal counter pick here into Graves. Can pressure him out a little bit in the early games as Graves wants to scale. The Sivir blind on first rotation is a little interesting here. Sivir not an AD carry we see very frequently right now. Particularly blind, can have some matchups that can really pressure her out. You know, does have a spell shield, but soft counter support would be something like an Alistair, although that typically doesn't see play either. But a little early for a Sivir pick for sure.
Yes, and it looks like it might get an interesting pick here with the Ezreal fighting down in the bot lane. And then the dangerous top lane that we've seen those bans coming from, will it be the Aatrox? A pretty standard pick in the top lane nowadays, especially after the rework. We're going to see if Suny's going to count out with the top lane. They're picking the Cho'Gath into Aatrox. Definitely going to be an interesting one up there. Aatrox definitely holding a little bit of the upper hand during the early matches, as Cho'Gath will have to watch his mana consumption quite frequently. But if Cho'Gath's able to survive early game, then I think he's in the home clear.
Yeah, I do think he will get pretty tanky towards the later game, although I still think he will struggle to deal with Aatrox pressure in a side lane, depending on how well itemized the Aatrox is. Duels are a little hard against that E dash when you need to land your Q, but definitely will be tanky for sure. A Blitzcrank ban and a Fizz ban coming in here as we start our round 2 bans.
Looks like some support and mid lane targets. Both support and mid lane for both sides have not been picked. The quick Braum ban comes out as well. Braum has seen a good chunk of play and pro play, but it looks like Marian does not want to continue with the support bans. Instead, they're going to go ahead and ban Kassadin from the lane. Personally, I'm happy they banned Kassadin. I don't like fighting Kassadin, man. I really don't.
Nobody likes fighting Kassadin, especially in the late game. Yeah, you can see two different strategies here coming in. It looks like Marian definitely wants to pick for their mid-jungle duo here, trying to ban out some of those mid picks and support Lulu here. As you can see, Suny definitely trying to enable that Sivir bot lane, banning out 2 supports that may be problematic, and making a nice caster support there for her with that Lulu ultimate. So definitely trying to enable this Sivir in this comp.
And it looks like the Cassiopeia is going to be picked for the mid lane. Once again, a pretty strong mid laner, especially during this patch right now. And it looks like the Thresh is going to be the support for Ezreal. That's a pretty solid combo down there, but Sivir does have the ability to block either Q actually from both Thresh and Ezreal, but we'll have to definitely try to save it here to block that Q from the Thresh.
Yeah, will be some pressure coming out from Thresh, but as you mentioned, I do expect Sivir to be able to handle that. You know, even a flash flay into you can definitely immune the hook with your spell shield. I would probably be looking for the Thresh, be looking for the Lulu in the early game as opposed to the Sivir. Try and shut that down. That'd be the easier option here as the Azir comes in as the final pick. Fine pick into this. Cassiopeia will have range and should be able to farm safely in the early game here and scale in this late game. You can see a very scaling comp for this Suny side as opposed to much more of a sort of dueling comp for this Marian side. A couple of late game options with the Ezreal and Cassiopeia, but and the Graves as well, but they'll want to have lane priority in the early game to try and help this Graves scale. And when you look at a Sivir, Azir with 2 tanks, that kind of screams late game composition, especially with the Lulu there in tow. So I do think Suny will be looking to play this one out for the later game and try to win larger team fights for sure.
Now, luckily, the Trundle will definitely help in trying to keep those members alive there during the early game. But something interesting, Ajax will definitely want to try to force down Cho'Gath, get them low so they can at least get that snowball starting to roll along. Bot lane is going to be a very interesting play down there. Lots of chasing back and forth and lots of dodging is going to be what they pulled up from Sivir. Luckily, the Lulu will help with that with the quick movement speed increase. And mid lane's just a matter of skill almost at this point. If Azir's not careful, Cassiopeia is just going to start shredding him down. And Cassio's not careful, Azir is just going to surround her and just poke her to death. So it's a very mid lane's very skill based, I feel, in this matchup right now.
A little bit of skill based. I would expect it to be mostly a farm fest. I don't think either Azir or Cass really want to get too froggy with each other in the early game. They may look to intervene, but ganking Azir can be a little difficult. Ganking Cass, not so much pre-6, but obviously after 6, pretty hard to gank Cass as well. So it will be interesting to see where the junglers turn their attention with those two sort of scaling safe-ish mid laners positioned there.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting one right now. Based on these two different team comps, who do you think has the upper hand in this? Because I know we definitely want to see the late game coming out from Suny, but Marian also has a pretty solid comp going into that. And so who do you think has the upper hand, especially just starting out right now? Who do you think can snowball that?
I would give my edge to Suny's comp here solely because both comps kind of want a team fight. Marian a little bit less, but they're not exactly a split push composition here. They do want to scale their Graves, Cass, and Ezreal. But in a 5v5, pure 5v5 team fight, I mean, the Suny comp is set up purely to team fight. And so I think if this game does go late while there are options on both sides, the fights just play out a lot easier for Suny. You play forward with Sivir, you speed her up, Azir puts his wall up when someone engages, and you win the fight through that. So I do think in late game team fights, Suny has the advantage. So I think Marian will have to come up with some better options here in the early to mid game to get themselves advantages. And therefore, I would edge it towards Suny.
But as we're about to hit spectator break right here, we're going to see who's going to come out on top in this Illinois Division B match. Will be Marian with their early game comp, or will Suny stay strong and last until late game? We'll see you guys in just a couple minutes here. And welcome back, GGLeagues fans, to this wonderful matchup in Illinois B-League. Over on the blue side, we have Marian Varsity Esports White, and over on the red side, we have Suny Plattsburgh, as we're going to be diving into this match here. So sorry about the technical difficulties. Oh my goodness. Along with my phonetic abilities. As we have been having a little bit of issues here and there. It's actually, we're starting off, and it looks like a possible 5-man dive here in top.
We'll be looking for this, and I'm Ugly and Proud will see them coming. We'll drop a ward here. We'll be able to clear it. A little bit of extra gold there for Marian. And one thing to note here that we did not call out in draft is Marian's actually flexed their parent mid and bot lanes here, sending the Cassiopeia into the bot lane, controlled by Hide on Bush Light, and sending the Ezreal into mid lane for John the G. And we were talking about this, but I think this is a positive change. What do you make of it, Mercenary?
I do agree as well. That gives the Ezreal a lot more range and flexibility to deal with this Azir in the mid lane, and Cassiopeia a lot of extra abilities. So if Sivir pops that spell Shield the Poison, will definitely take that away, leading up for the Thresh to land some solid Q. So overall, I think this is a positive change, especially with the sudden Azir pick here. As
I do have to agree with you, Mercenary. I do think it sets up the lanes better for Marian to pressure in this early game, and I think that's something they will need to do here with this very team fighting comp, sort of a almost protect the Sivir comp coming out from Suny here. And they'll need to put on some early pressure. Marian here sitting at 0-3 currently in Illinois B, and Suny at 3-0, and pick up ground. You're going to need to make some bold calls, and this is definitely one of those bold calls, flipping your draft around a little bit at the last minute.
Speaking of that pressure, looks like we have a little bit of an engage up to your top lane, as Cho'Gath is landing the solid damage, and Aatrox is landing as well. Quick Flay though, as we do not see the hook just quite yet. Almost there. Not yet, though. A little bit of pokes happening in the mid lane, but otherwise, it's just pokes back and forth and whatnot. Aatrox is trying to play around right now. Ooh, solid damage is coming out. But a mixed Q might not lead into any death right now.
Look here as Kaori invading topside jungle here with the sweeper. Already has his double buffs. Will sneak onto the crowd camp here, but we'll start it. In Turtles Lay Eggs face, they may run into each other after Turtles Lay Eggs finishes his Raptor camp here, unless Graves can finish this camp out pretty quickly here, which he may be able to do. Keep an eye on that in the next seconds or so, and he is pathing up here. If Graves can take this and get out. They don't have vision on him yet. Turtles Lay Eggs will see him finishing this camp, will take away two of the Krugs as I'm Ugly and Proud coming down here to collapse, but we'll have to land this Q. We'll land it.
On the bot lane, so Sivir is getting... Yeah, meanwhile on the bot lane, Sivir gets chewed out as well.
Cassio pushing down onto Humping, will get flayed with a flash, flashes away, and does manage to stay alive. Well-timed flash there from Humping, does also get level 2, and she manages to get out of that one, what looked like almost a certain death.
Solid Q coming out there from the Thresh as well, but looks like we have a bit of a engaged top lane.
Oh man, I hear in top lane, Kaori coming back. Full bar, double buffs here. Doesn't quite land the Q. First Q there on the Aatrox. Does land the cage, but too far under turret. So a little bit of missed execution there from Octadragon. Will keep I'm Ugly and Proud alive. Will have to teleport back in the lane, but does survive.
Marian is definitely showing their stripes right now. Got a bit of a TP in the top lane. Kyrie's actually staying around. They're looking for something right now. That they're catching I'm Ugly and Proud off guard, but the flash is going to come out and it's going to keep the Cho'Gath safe, but maybe not the Aatrox here. Whew. Constant fights. We love to see it. It's always fun. But definitely Marian is coming out here showing their stripes, and they are showing that they need to get an early snowball starting, and they're definitely showing the aggression, especially with that first blood down there in the bot lane. Is definitely going to help the Cassiopeia later in the matches right now. As we're going on, it looks like Trundle's actually going to be taking some farm from the Graves.
I'm trying to get him Krug camps here, but he might be spotted. Oh, I think he might escape vision here from THL the Destroyer, just barely. He'll be able to take this away for free, and that's 2 camps he's taken off the bot side now.
But meanwhile on top lane, more skirmishes and just These two, Cho'Gath had his chance and he's kind of lost it, but looks like he might be
Taking a good trade here. He's a level up here. This may be trouble for OptiDragon. And meanwhile, there's a spot on the bottom side. Putting this procced and ends it. OptiDragon trying to get away. Will get hit by the last Q, but his cage will pull the Cho'Gath back and barely keep him alive. But he does not have teleport and should lose a healthy amount of minions here to the turret.
Unfortunate right there for Ugly and Proud. He definitely had the chance there, but unfortunately he had to stop for the Q, which just would inevitably pull him back in the end. But meanwhile, down here in the bot lane, we had a little skirmish happening there, but we might see it again, especially with this Thresh, who has been landing solid Qs left and right, along with some extra abilities, and it looks like he's looking for a new one right now.
Coming out here, Sivir does have her flash still. Be a little hard, a little surprised she was able to go down with that flash in the first exchange, but maybe thought it was dead anyway and not worth the flash. Israel clears out some vision here in bottom river. The Turtles Lay Eggs resetting here with his jungle item as well as the Graves. I'm pretty much even in mid lane, but a big top lane difference because of that pressure put on by Ugly and Proud. You can see a 20 CS lead from up there. Already has Bramble Vest, which will cut some of this. Truck's healing is Turtles Legs and Wilhelm's trying to pressure on this dragon, but Marian in great position. Everyone down here to take this first Drake, and they will get it with no losses.
Yeah, but it looks like we have the Ocean Drake coming up next, so we're not going to get either of those extremely powerful buffs right there, but namely, in fact, it'd actually be pretty nice to get to especially get Sivir that
and I think Aatrox may be in trouble here top side. Cho'Gath is level 6. If he lands one more Q, but another good... Oh, wait. Another decent cage. Does have Conquer now, but does have the Feast here. 2-0 for OptiDragon. He's going to feast out. Doesn't quite kill him, but the last Eproc will take down OptiDragon. And I'm Ugly and Proud. Hits that level 6 and runs down his lane opposition and continues to add pressure to a widening top gap here.
Yeah, but it looks like a possible engagement. Kyrie trying to look in mid lane. Get this Israel far ahead. Or trying to get a little bit more ahead. He's going to be popping through. But that was such a close fight up there in top lane, as we were definitely seeing the shift in pressure going around over towards Cho'Gath right now. It was well played overall, but it looks like nothing was come of it. But meanwhile, Kyrie is looking in that bot lane. I got to find anything to back up. Looking for that pressure. So like Kyrie has been all over this map as of late, but it's not really helping as he's starting to fall behind in that farming, as Trundle is actually to be clearing up his farm on the top side, as we're going to have Rift Herald pop up in just a couple seconds.
A little bit of a confusing sort of meander into lane there. Usually you'd see a jungler meander into lane to, you know, either push the wave up if it's in a bad spot, which argue it kind of is, or reset it in some fashion, and kind of meanders in to show his presence and goes back to farming, but is still fairly close to the Trundle here, just a couple of camps down. So Trundle here kind of looking topside, seeing if they can maybe re-gank OptiDragon here. He will come around the corner here. OptiDragon already really low, trying to get away, but his Q2 is already popped. He really doesn't have an out, and he will just get feasted by this Cho'Gath, who is really starting to push this lead with a little assistance from his jungler.
Yeah, and there's that turnaround up in that top lane. Now with that first kill, Aatrox is just having a harder and harder time taking down this slowly growing in strength Cho'Gath. But it looks like Turtle Lays Eggs was trying to go for the possible Rift Herald, and they might be able to continue, especially as Ugly and Proud is keeping Kaori back in line. Looks like they don't want to go for it. But that added pressure was definitely helpful there from Turtles. Definitely helping out there.
No, I'm a little surprised he's decided not to go for the Rift Herald. Well done by Kaori, at least to be in the vicinity, but should have pressure there from topside with, you know, Aatrox still resetting from his second death there, and a little prio in mid lane, but decided it was better not to go for it. Maybe a little surprising, but considering they are building a lead here in top lane now, just about a half K gold, maybe looking to just get safe, continue to farm up towards these later game item spikes for their big carries.
Yeah, my opinion, I'm pretty sure Kyrie just kind of gritted his teeth, looked a little scary there, and Turtles didn't want anything to deal with it, just backed off. But meanwhile, speaking of backing on, we have a quick engage here from the Thresh landing the ulti, but it does not look like anything's good coming. Actually, he might be.
They can kite it out here. No, they will pull out.
Ooh, but meanwhile in top lane, looks like some engages are happening from Kaori.
Oh boy.
Unfortunately, the damage was not there for
Flash from
Aatrox,
the
not staying
grave,
alive, but
because
Kaori is
minions-
landing the ulti. His abilities are down, and it looks like they're just going to back up. Okay. But
Oh,
meanwhile, in bot
boy.
lane, something new is happening.
Double flay there from, oh, and a great, holy cow, that is extremely well played by the Marian bot lane. Let's see if Humpy can survive. No, will be a double kill from Hide on Bush Light. Excellent coordination there from this Marian bot lane. You can see with that flash double flay there from THL Destroyer, gets both of them back. Sivir pops her spell shield, block the incoming hook, but Hide on Bush Light perfectly times his Q to take off that shield in time for the hook to land, guaranteeing that kill and the double kill. And Marian giving themselves a pressure point here in the bot lane. Again, very bold switch in draft to switch this Cassio to the bot lane. And so far, it's going absolutely swimmingly. Up 2 kills now and 24 CS on the bot lane of Goff and Humping for Suny Plattsburgh.
Right now, it looks like there is a quick trade up there for Kaori. He's going to be taking that extra pressure and is going to be taking in that Rift Herald for himself. He might be looking at to drop it possibly mid or top here, or possibly just keep that snowball rolling down and bot, especially after they got the double plate down there for the Cassiopeia. It's something you really do not want to see for the side of Suny. You do not want to see that Cassiopeia getting even faster and stronger. They pinched a pressure point on the top lane with the Aatrox, but it looks like they left another one open down there in the bot lane.
It will be interesting to see how those pressure points are played around. You would have to argue that the Marian pressure point is the one you would prefer. You know, pressure point on this Cassio, one of your better scaling options here in a champion that can definitely carry the game versus Cho'Gath that, you know, really no matter how fed, especially on a tanky Cho'Gath as opposed to a slow build Cho'Gath, you know, using the Hextech GLP and the Twin Shadows, hard for that Cho'Gath to carry the game. So definitely a good position here for Marian as they freely take their second Drake with the pressure earned from this bot lane. So well done by them so far to take advantage of this pressure point.
Yes, and it looks like the Cloud Soul is going to be popping up right now. But meanwhile, in the top lane, the pressure is on. The ulti's going to get popped after the Devour is going to get used, barely keeping Optidragon alive in that top lane. While he is behind up there, he's holding out reasonably strong, not letting Cho'Gath really get close to this tower in the end, giving Marian a lot more pressure down in the spot lane right now. It's very interesting to see, and I can see this going either way because while Marian definitely has that strong pressure point down the bot lane, and even though they lost on the top lane, you also just have this scaling comp coming out from Suny. Their other lanes, especially with the Azirs holding up pretty strong, Cho'Gath is looking pretty powerful. But the one thing they tried to do was try to keep that Silver alive, and that's currently not working out for them.
A little bit of a pressure gank here in mid lane, but both mid jungles are here. I don't really know if anyone wants to contest as this lane will push in here.
Yeah, but it looks like the pressure's starting in mid lane. We might see a bit of a gank there, but it looks like the pressure's on. They're just going to back up in the end as both members are going into each other's jungles to look for some possible clearing. But meanwhile, on the top lane right now, I'm Ugly and Proud just putting on that pressure onto Optidragon. Just the solid amounts of damage up there is not exactly what they want, but looks like we might see a little something with that pressure point down in bot lane as Kaori and Villamus is going to meet up. Actually, they're going to be charging in here with the Rift Herald. The TP is coming in as well.
Teleport. Wow. This might be trouble for Marian. Willems is here. He's going to ult. Knock one back. THL Destroyer should go down here. He'll have to flash away from the Cassiopeia, but here comes Turtle Eggs. Ulted by the Cassiopeia. Great play there from Hide on Bush Light as he is really strong and flexing. Conquer Brock. Excellent ultimate there and absolutely destroys Turtle's Lay Eggs on this Trundle, and now on the G picking up a kill on the backside, still on top of the Sivir, and will take her down for a triple kill. It's another shot into I'm Ugly and Proud, and what looked like a bad situation for Marian turns into a great situation there as the late roam from John the G picks up 3 kills, and they will take down both turrets here in the bot lane. So this advantage that they built for themselves with Hide on Bush Light and THL the Destroyer now absolutely snowballing into a massive lead. They're up almost 4K gold now.
Yeah, but meanwhile in the top lane, Dragon caught a little too far out by Turtles, who's just going to slowly but surely take him down. The smite comes out as well. The flash is going to keep him from being pulled back. And Dragon's not having a good time up there. But regarding that team fight from earlier, Suny had the pressure there. They had Vilmas coming in from the side. They had the strong ulti blocking them into the box. And it was all the pressure was there, but then they just completely ignored John the G as he popped over the wall. And he was just able to slowly pick them out from the side as they just kept engaging, not realizing the damage was coming out from behind them.
Absolutely. The late roam really taking them by surprise there with Wilhelm's roaming first. Definitely thought they had the advantage, but I think these a little unfortunate because I think Wilhelm's came at the right angle, played it pretty well, but just a little unfortunate to only get the Thresh with his ultimate knocked back into his team there. And with a bunch of cooldowns down, John the G can just kind of E in there and poke as he wills and executes it super well, takes down the Silver Shield, gets himself a triple kill. And yeah, now you got to look at both of these lanes, 3-0-0 on the Ezreal, 3-0-2 on this Cassiopeia. They are terrifying forces here in these bottom two lanes.
Ooh, the try of the ulti from Villain is coming out. It's not going to find anything. Unfortunately, the E will come out from Ezreal. Something actually we're going to see in next patch is that E get nerfed as the cooldown will be increased. So you won't see as much jumping around as possible, but it looks like Cho'Gath's going to get pulled instead.
He should take a lot of damage. He may go down
God.
here. Oh, we'll have to flash from hide on Bush Light, and he is just operating this cast for perfection here. And the Thresh, THL Destroyer, slowing down this Cho'Gath, and that's the strong point for Suny there. And you can see, not itemized into magic resist, of course, because of his lane matchup with Aatrox. And again, Marian putting their point of pressure, switching it to the top side of the map, and no answer from Suny, and that's the result there.
While bot lane slowly being chewed up, but the Dragon's well equipped to actually just kind of hold this bot lane to himself. But meanwhile, it looks like we'd have the Drake coming up in about 10 seconds here. That Cloud Drake is critical for both sides right now. It would be especially good for that Cloud Soul on top of that Sivir, being able to just completely charge down with the rest of their team. The Drake is up and the pressure's going on as all members are starting to try to get some vision. But it looks like Marian is going to get there first.
Here we go. Let's get excited for a fight. Going to contest this third Drake as HL moving in, misses on the Q, misses on the hook here, but Marian able to, with probably greater strength here, able to take control of the Dragon Pit. It looks like Suny may just give it up here. I think they will, and that's the third Drake now. And Suny, a little bit of communication issues potentially here. Is instead of contesting for that third Drake, if you're just going to posture and back off, you could be trying to take turrets on the map. Despite the lead they have in top lane, they still have not taken this turret down. Yet to take a turret down in this game, and instead of trading that dragon for some pressure elsewhere, they posture around it, but in the end don't make a commitment to it and just again lose a third Drake for free. And Marian applying pressure again, going straight topside to take this Rift Herald. They're really stretching this lead the way you would want to see them, playing very excellently, executing very well, communicating very well, and continuing to grow it.
Yeah, there definitely is a bit of communication right there, because instead, while they did leave that Drake, the thing they should have done was go straight up to Rift Herald, but instead they lost two really high sought-after objectives, and they won't even need to drop a top. That Rift Herald's either most likely just going to be dropped here in mid, but it looks like in the backline now, Kyrie is looking for a possible engage to be taking the Krugs, but I'm ugly and proud is going to get the drop on him. Ooh, but the Lantern's going to keep them alive instead, as GGLeagues Eggs was just coming just around, not able to get the pillar down in time. And everyone's going to back up and play it safe. And everyone's going to back up. They got the tower. They got what they wanted. So now they're going to be looking for that mid lane.
As easy as you like again. And I think there's a conscious decision here now from Suny to sort of sack some of these objectives, because you can see you would expect them to match this strong bot lane with their bot lane, the 2v2. But instead they keep sending Sivir down to this bottom lane where she started. I think they just want her to kind of free farm away from pressure. I don't think they're confident taking fights right now with this Marian team, with this Cassiopeia. So I think they're just looking to sack some time and hope that this Sivir can scale up on her own, pick up some experience and pick up some farm, because they cannot deal with the pressure of Cassiopeia Thresh unless they send two people to that lane.
Yeah, she is a bit down on farm, but actually as we're talking right now, it looks like Dragons once again getting caught up by three members. The ulti's going to pop out along with the Lulu ulti as well. Aatrox is still looking a bit scary. Shutdowns are happening left and right. Everyone's trying to stay alive, and Dragon's going to get another death on his record. But it looks, ooh, he almost shut down on top of Kyrie there. As the fight is going to continue with another flame ulti from the
still
threat.
untouched.
On the G, getting another kill on top of Cho'Gath, another kill getting land on top of the Trundle. The pressure is there, and there goes the mid tower. Ooh, the quick flash hook almost landing. The attempt was there, but it did not happen, unfortunately.
I mean, you take that if you're THL.Destroyer. That's a support flash for an AD carry flash, and now you get free pressure on this mid tier 1 and mid tier 2. They'll both go down here. And again, what looked like a decent fight at the start for Suny Plattsburgh there just turns around because they use all their cooldowns on the non-carry champions. And Cassio and Ezreal, you know, they see the Azir ult come out, they see the Cho'Gath Q come out, Feast come out, they see the Trundle ultimate come out, and they just say, well, hey, nobody can kill us anymore, so we're just going to do whatever we want and turn around, take 2 kills, take 2 turrets. It continues here from Marian.
Rift Herald was able to not only get a tower, but get a huge chunk of damage off that mid lane inhibit tower. It's looking pretty scary. It's 5 towers to 0 right now, 3 Drakes to nothing, 9 kills to 6, and they're holding a solid 5k goal lead right above Suny's head right now. I'm just trying to question what you want to see right now. You have that solid pressure coming out from the Cho'Gath, but unfortunately, you really just need to get that Sivir as strong as possible.
I mean, the real issue for Suny here is that you're on a timer. I mean, this Baron is up. I don't think they can threaten that, but if you look at the Drake timer, in just a minute now, that 4th Cloud Drake comes up. That's for Cloud Soul, and I really don't think you're strong enough to fight it, but you may have to, and if you do lose that fight, that may just be the game because they'll probably wipe and go over to the Baron unless they execute poorly. So big decision to be made here from Suny, whether to contest this Drake and go for the big risk play or let them have Cloud Soul, hope that it's not strong enough, and keep farming around the map for this Sivir Azir late game.
Yeah, it's really a choice because you would want, if you lose that soul, then you're gonna have to go straight to a Baron. If you don't
catch
that,
out off the dragon here though.
Oh.
Meanwhile, mid lane, Turtle's Legs just going to go down to 3. Can they catch up the dragon on the backside? No, they cannot. He does flash out. And now the advantage for Marian. He should be able to just take this dragon for absolutely free. Free Cloud Soul. They may lose some pressure on mid lane turret. May lose the turret to Azir. But it looks like John the G is just going to walk back and pressure him off of this wave. They should still be able to take it, and they will. They will get a Cloud Soul for absolutely nothing there. Great decision making, great shot calling, collapsing onto the jungler from Suny, and Marian just absolutely dominating this match so far. 22 minutes and they have Soul.
Yeah, they have Soul, and they're gonna definitely use that to their advantage. It looks like they're gonna slowly start rotating up here towards the Baron, but not gonna take it instead. And so they're gonna go ahead and clear out the vision. Get it back up right now, but it looks like a possible pressure engage here on top of Cho'Gath. And actually, everything's gonna play out just safe.
And they're just on the Baron now. And do remember, Cassio can absolutely shred Baron, particularly with this Cloud Soul on reducing all of her cooldowns. Her's far away, Humping's Lulu's far away. They are just burning this down, and I think they're just gonna take it. They will just take Baron, and Azir's now trapped in the pit. Turtle's Legs is nearby. He will probably go down here. It looks like they'll take down the Azir as well. A 2-for-0 and Baron for Marian. They're just looking to accelerate this game to its finish. As they continue to chase down towards the base, they have a wave in mid, and they should be able to pressure this while the wave clear of the Azir is down on the side of Suny Plattsburgh.
Members are going to back up. Now it looks like the pressure's going in. They're going to start sieging that base, and this might be the death sentence. This might be it.
It absolutely might be. They force a flash on my Ugly and Proud, and they have a wave here. They could still potentially pressure this. There's 11 seconds still on Azir. Turtles Lay Eggs has just come back up, but still 6 seconds on the Azir means the wave clear is really weak. Oh, but a good 2-man knockup here from Cho'Gath. Will feast down Kaori, and now they're getting a little low, but Cassio's burning them down. We'll take out one. John G will take out a second one. Azir is back up to try and wave clear. A couple of ultimates are down, but they will force him off. They will take down one turret. Off the dragon, onto the second turret. Wilhelm's trying to do anything now. Turtles Lay Eggs onto off the dragon. Will take him down. He will almost go down. Stays alive by a sliver of health. It looks like they will be able to force away. Oh no, great hook there from Thresh. And they will take down Azir. They may be able to stick around and take down this Nexus as both of the towers have fallen. It's just Humping and Turtles Lay Eggs trying to get on top of the Casio, but she's too strong. It takes him down. And that will be the game. Oh, Marian, a huge upset victory here for the 0-3 Marian over the 3-0 Suny Plattsburgh. And what a performance from this Marian side.
That's solid. That solid just snowball, just a quick reversal, especially in that top lane. You weren't able to get the pressure for the silver, and they took that reversal and just snowballed it in. They just kept going strong. So I'm sure they just kind of tore it through. And as we're looking at the numbers right now, you'll see that Ezreal and that Cassiopeia being first and second almost identical, as they were doing solid damage in both their lanes, left and right. But third will be that Azir, who did 14k. He did solid damage as well and had a lot of good plays. Unfortunately, it was not enough to save that match for them.
Super, again, as we mentioned in draft, a super bold call there with the Cassio Ezreal draft. They see the Sivir, they see the Azir, and they say, you know, I think this Cassiopeia is going to do better in bot than Ezreal is. They make the switch, and it pays massive dividends. Both those champions with a ton of damage, 1 and 2 in the game, ahead of everyone else. 7-0 and 5 on Hide on Bush Light, 6-0-5 on John the G, and an absolute stomp here from Marian, taking a bold call to get their first win of this session here in Illinois B.
Yes. It was a dominant win and it was an amazing thing to watch in the end. But unfortunately, that's going to do us for tonight here. But tomorrow, we're going to have some more action coming around circles. We're actually going to have a Rocket League match beforehand and then another League of Legends match, which is actually going to be hosted by you, DJ, along with Rich Rad. Well, definitely an interesting watch right there. But if you guys want to see what's going to be happening next week, or you want to vote on who you want to see on stream, make sure you go to any of our social media at GGLeagues and make sure you vote and see what's going on and what's happening around us. And if you've enjoyed this match and you want to be on that screen, you want to hear us shouting your name and calling out your mistakes, I bet no one wants that. But make sure you go to ggleagues.com to see if you have a team in your area. And if you don't, talk to any of our admins here. Set up a team in your area, set up a game in your state, and we would definitely be happy to help you there. So again, thank you guys for tuning in tonight for a wonderful match. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties there early on, but we hope you guys had a great night, and we will see you again tomorrow.